my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I just wanna feel alive. It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna take a trip to Mars. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. I wanna drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars. I wanna drive a faster car. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me. Try not to hold me down. Feel alive when I'm in this town. Nothing can break me, no, no, nothing can break me.
Face to face, the back of your car, and you swore we never go this far. Hit me up 6 months later, asking me for another favor. And you know I'd never say no, asking me just to tell me I should go. Fast forward, now we're together. In the end, feeling strange like the weather. And I don't wanna know what you're gonna say now, what you're gonna say now. These feelings never show unless you're burning me down, unless you're burning me down. So tell me, will we be fine and stay up on cloud nine, pretending we're alright? Don't let go, hold me close and keep me by your side as we lay on your clothes and drift into the night. Please don't leave, turn around and tell me it's alright. As I stood there in your sweater, you said it's only getting better. Tell me I should go. It's only getting better. Tell me it's alright. As I stood there in your sweater, you said it's only getting better. What is it? What do you desire? Left it all where the heart's on fire. Let me in, I wanna see you try. Open up, boy, and never tell me why. We were gone, but we had each other. Summer love, so we lost one another. Swore to me that you'd always stay. Now you're gone, you went another way. And I don't wanna know what you're gonna say now, what you're gonna say now. These feelings never show unless you're burning me down, unless you're burning me down. So tell me, will we be fine and stay up on cloud nine, pretending we're alright? Don't let go, hold me close and keep me by your side as we lay on your clothes and drift into the night. Please don't leave, turn around and tell me it's alright. As I stood there in your sweater, you said it's only getting better. Tell me I should go. It's only getting better. Tell me it's alright. As I stood there in your sweater, you said it's only getting better.
story goes, little hope but bigger dreams. They try to bring a sucker down, singing louder than the crowd. Listen the rhythm, I'm feeling brand new. Keep pushing forward, it's gonna save you. Never look down, love, not when we shine so bright. The sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border. But when we're floating up like helium, sip me up like lemonade. We both know it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Happy Saturday! TK421, why aren't you at your post? I can't breathe in that thing.
Also, I can't see in this thing either. I put my glasses on. Oh, that's better.
I was not expecting that.
I was dancing for Patrick while we were on the countdown. He was laughing at it. It was fun. Oh, wow. All right. Happy Halloween, everyone. We are
Happy
here.
Halloween.
Justyna, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited to finally be here. I've been on your YouTube videos before, but this is the first time I'm joining your live stream, so I'm very excited about this.
Thank you for joining us. So for everyone that's not familiar, Justyna Lucznik is a PM on the Power BI product team. Justyna, do you want to tell us kind of what your focus is on the product team?
Yeah, of course. So program manager on the Power BI team, focusing on the AI features, and as of recently also the Power BI data flows features. So
Nice.
that's pretty exciting.
So you're an expert on data flows, is what I'm hearing.
Let's say I'm slowly ramping up on becoming an expert in data flows, but
Nice.
definitely still feeling a little bit more comfortable with the AI side of things.
Yes.
But getting
all
there,
good.
getting
all
there.
good. All good. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us. We've got an awesome hour in store for us with all the questions. So be sure you're getting those in. Before we get into that though, a couple of things real quick. Big shout out to all of the members of Guy in a Cube. Thank you so much for helping support what we do here. It's greatly appreciated and helps us take things to the next level. And we love doing that for all of you. So thank you for that. If you're interested in learning more about that, there is a join button down below. If you're in your web browser, if you're on your phone, it's going to be over on the side, I think somewhere. You can check that out and get more information about it. So yeah, thank you for that. Also, for all the new folks that are here, if you're new just watching the stream for the first time, or you're new to Guy in a Cube as a whole, put hashtag new in the chat. We love seeing that. Love seeing all the new folks that are here with us today. It's always awesome. And I see a lot of normal names that are here regularly, and always good to see you as well. So, all right. While we're waiting for all of that to come in, yeah, okay, I did turn off the megaphone voice, so that's good. I don't want to get Alex going on this. So for the questions, be sure to put Q: in front of the questions. Chatmaster C is standing behind scenes, ready to get those queued up for us as always. So we are looking forward to that. So hashtag new. Yeah, Thomas is old timer. Yep. Jessica, old as the hills, love it. Subramanan, new. Later is new, nice. Patrick, someone said we were handsome guys. So that's
thank
nice.
You so much.
That's nice.
Thank you
That's
so
nice.
much.
Charles is new from Denver. Love seeing that. All right, great. So let's do. I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting, Patrick?
We got a member question.
We do have a member. Oh, yeah, thank you. So for the members, so first half of this is going to be open chat. For the second half, we will cut over to members only questions where the members will be able to participate in the chat as well as moderators, and everyone will still be able to watch the stream, but you won't be able to actually participate in the chat during the member only section. Super chats take priority. So yeah, love that. Also with the questions, try not to, please don't repost the questions. Just one time is all you need. We get that queued up. For the members, I will let you know as we get close to the hour to where you can, or close to the cutover where you can go ahead and submit your questions at that point. Crystal will clear the queue and we will get those loaded up so we can stay straight on the member questions. So we will go through that. Alrighty. Are we ready? Are you ready, Patrick? Are you ready, Justyna?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So with Justyna being focused on the AI and data flows, we will try to prioritize those items. If we don't have any in there, we'll just go to whatever questions are there. So let's get into that. So Donald had one. Mr. Donald. I like it because it's an AI thing. I know Donald's a member, but we're going to grab it. Best way to get business users to use the AI visuals? It's a good question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. So I think we have a number of different AI visuals in Power BI that all maybe have slightly different use cases and different varying levels of complexity. So I think if you have business users who are very new to Power BI, or in terms of if you're worried about things like data literacy, generally the Smart Narratives, shameless plug, new visual that was released in September, desktop, go check it out, is a really good one, I think, for users who are very new or who might not be as familiar with data, because it's just summarizes your data for you. And so it's just as simple as going and reading a paragraph, and it's an AI visual that can even help you get more familiar with your just typical column charts or bar charts or pie charts. So that's I think a really good one to get started with. And I think for business users, the important thing is to really be able to relate to them with regards to the business problems they're trying to solve, and how is that AI visual helping them solve that problem. So if we take something like the decomposition tree, for example, that's all about being able to go and drill down into root cause analysis with your data. So if you have a business problem where that kind of going and exploring multiple layers and going deeper within a specific segment, maybe things like, okay, this is looking green on the outside, but are there parts of this that look red? Or, hey, this is looking red, where is this actually coming from? Relating that to the business problem they're trying to solve, I think is something that really resonates. For example, for me, when I do demos to business users that are, for example, within their domain, and talk about like something, I'm like, I know I'm going to present to someone within finance, let me go and find a finance use case or marketing use case. People start relating to like, oh, I have a similar problem. Oh, I'm trying to do something similar. And that gets them really excited a lot of the time.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to add to that, Patrick?
No, she hit it right at the end. What I was going to
agree.
say, show them. Just show them.
Yes.
Right? Just show them.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. Do you?
No,
I thought you said
like,
me.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. So
She's like, go to my laptop.
No,
Go to my laptop. I got this.
that wasn't what Patrick was saying. Yes. Yeah. Let the visuals like do the selling for you is great. Yeah. Alrighty. Let's see here. That was funny. There was one I saw a second ago. Here we go. Learn data insights. This is a good question. What is the plan for supporting direct query composite models with the Smart Narratives visual?
Mm-hmm. So I was so for direct query, that should be working. If it's not, let me know, because direct query and composite models with direct query should be working fine. The thing that we're not supporting for the time being is Azure Analysis Services. We have prioritized supporting Premium, so it's going to work in Premium. For now, we don't have a timeline or roadmap for Azure AS, unfortunately. But direct query composite models and new composite models we're working on, those all should be fine. So if it isn't, let me know.
Nice. All right. Yeah. Well, and so Learn Data Insights also, being that it should work, have you tried it? Normally, when people bring those questions up, they hit some sort of problem. So it'd be interesting to hear more about that. But if you haven't tried it, try it. See if it works. So I think sometimes there's some stigma around that because in the past we've had some limitations where the direct query pieces kind of lag, like on Q&A, for example, that lagged.
No. And for all the AI visuals, actually, direct query is something that has come pretty recently. So it is a fair question because we only supported decomp tree and key influencers, I think, in April or May for direct query.
Fairly
and
recent.
Q&A has come very recently, even more recently than that. So now, as we release new AI visuals or new AI capabilities, it should just work with direct query. But if there could be things that we've, there are use cases maybe we've missed or things we've overlooked. So if there's anything like that, just feel free to get in touch with me and we'll look into it.
Awesome. All right. Let's see here.
So they just posted. She said. She said. By the way, it's Rishi. It's not working for me with import direct query composite models. She said they said they'll ping you, Justyna.
Okay, cool. Let's take it offline.
Yeah, definitely. And Justyna is on Twitter, so if you want to look in the description below of the YouTube live stream, I've got her contact information down there for LinkedIn and for Twitter as well. So you can always reach out to her on Twitter. So
that would probably be the easiest way.
Yep. Let's see here. Yeah, Rishi, you threw us off with the new name. Alrighty. Let's see here. Not see him. We're just gonna. There was. Oh, here we go. So this one may be one that you can comment on, Justyna. So Dinesh had a question. How is Power BI scope in the next 5 years? Can I focus my career towards learning Power BI and be a developer on that? It's an interesting question.
So we have some very exciting, so within the product group, generally, we don't plan in 5-year increments. We plan, our semester plan spans 6 months. So that's kind of what our long-term horizon looks like. We have, of course, features that span longer than 6 months and things that we want to work on for longer time periods. But generally, every 6 months, we come together as a team and reevaluate our priorities and look at the market, look at what's going on and see, hey, that thing that we're working on, is it still high priority? But, we have generally the sorts of areas we're investing in. We're investing really across the whole board in Power BI, all the way from, making it simpler for business users, for integrating it into, more of the applications they use across the Office suite. Of course, AI is something we're investing in. We have some really cool capabilities coming, and just even next month with, again, shameless plug, Anomaly Detection. Go try it out next month.
Wait. Next month being the November release of the desktop or December?
Yes. November release. So not even in a couple of weeks really.
Yes. Nice.
Oh, and great link from Alex over here for the next 6-month release plan. Which basically gives you all the things you can expect coming soon. We also have the embedded offering, which is great for also kind of more on the developer side, if that's more of the side you want to get into. So there's just a lot of really exciting roadmap plans. So yeah, absolutely, we're definitely going to be investing for 6 months, for 5 years. I think that's a pretty safe bet. So absolutely.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. So the other things too is I was in support for a while, working on reporting services and analysis services, and all of those skills, they translate to Power BI as well. So the things you learn in Power BI as well, just thinking further ahead, if you learn those concepts and you think about the broader concepts too, not just specific DAX language or M syntax or those specific things, but think about reporting in general and data analysis concepts that you can apply to Power BI, those transcend a given product. So even as just from building your skill set, that's going to be really good. So learning how to, which visualizations communicate the right things, thinking about accessibility with colors and contrasts and things of that nature are just, they're not specific to Power BI, but they're things you can apply as part of it. So
I think Patrick has his hand up.
oh, okay. Oh, Patrick raised his hand.
I'm pretending like we're in Teams.
Yes,
like in Teams.
yes, it's a new live stream feature. You can raise your hand.
So I just tested a composite model, direct query one table, dual mode another table with the smart narrative, and it worked.
Nice.
So I haven't switched it to import, but it totally works. So I'm not sure. I had to try it. I had to try it. I'm sorry. I had to try it. So just
what
it
Patrick
does. So Rishi, if it doesn't work, I'm curious at what the problem. What are you doing? How's the model configured? So yep. All right.
Yep.
Go ahead, Adam.
All right. So there is no way I'm going to be able to pronounce this name, but is there a valid and effective way to learn DAX? Whew. So do you want to take that, Patrick?
I'm just going to say one thing. Start with the basics and try to, if you can, try to forget everything about T-SQL and MDX and all those other languages. Start with the basics and try to understand filter context and row context and context transitioning. Try to understand that stuff. That's what I think. That's my opinion. I know what you're about to do.
Patrick knows. So there's a good book out there that you could get that will help you in your journey. But also there's a ton of resources out there, right? So there's at SQLBI.com, they have an Intro to DAX course. I believe it's free. There's also Phil Seamark has a Learn DAX item on the Microsoft Learn area. I don't have a link, but I'm sure Alex will end up helping us out there. So the biggest thing though is you got to do it, right? So look at some examples. Try, Patrick, you're typing, buddy. He forgets every time. So look for just examples, things you can do. So I know Marco Russo, we were talking about it in chat during the countdown of the DAX examples that he's doing every Saturday morning on Twitter. Those are great, like great ways to go and try things and learn like what the response is or what the result is. Those are always good things to do. And that's how Patrick and I learn anything. Like we got to go try it and do it. So like what Patrick just did with the smart narratives, and does that work on direct query and composite models? Let's go try it. That's how we learn it. So definitely it's going to take time. It's not going to be an overnight thing. I know with Patrick and I also, it was a journey, right? We're still learning things today. So, and I could tell you, just talking with Marco a lot, Marco learns things. There was something we did on the live stream with Marco and Alberto, and there was something that came up with there where Marco even commented, he's like, wow, I didn't know that part. Like we learn things all the time and we're not afraid of that. It's part of the journey. So yep. Good. Okay, let's see here. I'm not seeing, so folks, if you do have questions about the AI visuals and or data flows, be sure to get those in. I'm not seeing any right now. So we're gonna jump to some other ones. Oh, whoa, and as I say that, let me get this off the screen. As I said that, we got a super chat that came in. Awesome. Dharma, thank you so much for the super chat. Very much appreciated. So this was... is there a way to show past 6 months share trend line in tooltips using or while I have active month slicer?
Yeah, you got external. Well, if you want the tooltip to, I think there's an option in the tooltip when you
So the way I'm thinking of it, so if we have an active month slicer, so the way we've done it in the past is we've done a sync slicer where the slicer's in the tooltip, but we make it not visible. And so that way when you interact in the slicer, that will end up transferring to the tooltip as well. So that may be what we're...
But it should just work.
Wait, it depends. It depends. I like that.
Wait.
Patrick's off trying it out.
Yeah, he's thinking.
I hate to say show my screen because this is going to give... I don't want you to show this.
Right, yeah, that's fine. So one thing that's missing here, Dharma, and it would be helpful to understand, are we talking about report tooltips, or are we talking about just the tooltips that you can just drag into the visual and the field well as well? because those behave differently. What I'm referring to with the sync slicer is specific to. Oh, all right. Go to your machine. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm curious about this. All right, just you guys are here. You deserve it. This is an early demo. This is for a video I'm working on. But so if you see right now, I have this set to the. Oh, you can't see my screen, right?
The screen's up.
If you see, I have this. Okay, I have this relative date slicer, right? It's the last 8 months. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Can you see? Right.
Yeah.
And so you see the values for the. Why don't you go away? Right. You see the values that I have set. They match on that slicer. If I hover over my tooltip, right, the exact same values come through that tooltip. I don't have anything with that slicer that's passed through. Those filters should just pass to that tooltip within the context of all the filters on that page. So I'm not sure what they're asking.
Dharma did another super chat with a response. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, Justyna, this is the beautiful smart narrative on a report tooltip.
Yes. Yes.
Anyway, yeah.
All right.
So it says currently I duplicate the entire table and remove relations. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that at all. So, also, Dharma, feel free to just respond in the chat. You don't have to do. I appreciate the super chat for the response, but you don't have to do that. You can just respond in the chat normally. We'll see it. We'll see it. We're looking at the chat.
You don't have to do that.
But no, I don't know why you shouldn't have to duplicate the table or remove relate or anything like that. It should, the DAX measure should pick up that filter context.
It should pick up.
Yes. All right.
Okay, stop sharing my screen.
I stopped a long time ago.
Okay. All right.
I stopped a while ago. It's okay. All right. Here we go. MD a date. Questions. Can I change font color on smart narratives? Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can. Yeah. Yes, you can.
It's I'll let you in on a secret. The smart narratives is just now the text box. So it's just now we've essentially enhanced the Power BI text box with the either you can just auto-populate it with the generated text we have, or you can add these dynamic values. But everything you could do with text box, you could basically do with the smart narratives visual. So fonts, colors, size, everything is supported.
Yep. And then I'm going to here. Let me. That is not. I want to be like Patrick. So let's go. Let's head over to my machine. So real quick.
This is great. I love. Okay, you need visuals. Or,
I know. I gotta.
You want to head over to my machine?
Well, you're not in the Zoom meeting, so I can't do that.
I am in the Zoom meeting.
I do not see you in the Zoom meeting.
I just see streaming services in the Zoom meeting. That's the other...
Oh, you're not sharing your desktop. That's why.
All right. Well, no, go for it. You're doing a great job.
I've got it. So. No summer. Why
we don't support tables yet.
Oh my gosh, you're killing me.
It's preview. It's a preview feature.
Thought I had it. All right, here we go. Let's go back to this.
See, if it were on my machine, we'd be done with this demo by now.
Oh my goodness, Patrick.
Oh, I don't know if that's supported.
All right, Patrick.
You got to use a bar chart. Just use a bar chart.
What do you think it's going to summarize for you with the card? It's going to tell you the value of the card?
Here we go. I don't know.
Just go to my screen.
This third time. No, I got it. Look at this. It works just like a champ. Right? All right. So in here, though, what we can do is just highlight. Come on. Why is it? There we go. And then I can just change the color. Right? I can just change the color.
You'd be selected.
Why is it?
You should just go to my machine.
All right, we're going to Patrick's machine. That was a fail. There you go.
You should really just go to my machine. So, like, if I want to change, right? If I want to change anything, right? I want to change all this to red or blue or green or yellow. You just select it and you make it that color and you bold it. Look at there.
There you go,
Oof,
babe.
just works on my machine. So here's the point. Here's a point, though. Here's a point, Justyna. I keep looking at the chat. I am enamored by this smart narrative thing. I like it a lot, and I've been tinkering with it. So this is just something I threw together, and it's in direct query mode. My model is direct query and dual, but where I'm stuck, and this is what they were asking about earlier. I think it was Rishi, and so like if I come here.
You
And I
got to
wanna add
zoom,
something
buddy.
else,
Like
right?
we can't see any of
Yeah,
it.
okay. Okay, so if I go here and then I click plus and I type something, it won't, like it's not picking up anything.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Oh, for direct query?
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. But that's weird because Q&A is supported in direct query now
Yep.
as well. Okay,
But
that's
it's a
good to know
composite
that.
though. Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Okay,
All right.
I will follow up with the team on that one. That's a great catch.
Patrick,
I've done my work for the day.
it depends. It depends.
Depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Whew. All right. Well, I think it's safe to say I'm just not going to demo anything from my machine today. That did not work. All right. Well, I think we're past that question. That was a good question. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I saw there were a bunch that came in for this as well. Watching the clock, make sure where are we? Oh, here we go. Well, no, that's Thomas. I'm gonna hold your question for after the cut over here. Let's see. There we go. So we got Raphael. Justyna, when will the Q&A, smart narratives, and other cool things support Portuguese?
So for smart narratives, not for Q&A. I can't. That's a longer journey, I think. But for smart narratives, we are planning on at supporting multiple languages for when we go GA, and we're hoping to go GA in the next couple of months. So it is coming. Portuguese should be coming too. And again, that's for the actually automatically generated portion of the text, not necessarily for the Q&A dialogue for adding those dynamic values, but for actually having the text get generated, we do want to support multiple languages by the GA Smart Narratives Visual.
Thanks.
Q&A, unfortunately, yeah, that's a harder problem, and that's going to take a longer time.
Yep. So I know Spanish is still in preview. I don't know if how is that? Have you gotten feedback on that at all? Like, are people using that even?
Yeah, we do get feedback. We do get feedback about both the Spanish one, but also like asking for support of many different languages.
Right.
It's hard to prioritize the backlog. There's a lot of features that come in, and the languages one is just something that would take a pretty long time, and you kind of have to do it language by language, and for at least for Q&A. So it does get tricky.
Yep. All right. Good deal. Where we are? We got a couple more minutes here before we cut over. So let's see if we can grab another one. So we got Prem Chander's got one. Nope. I'm gonna hold Prem Chander's over. Let me grab one. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna pull this one, Patrick. This is gonna be one for you. Good morning. No. Is it possible to mix Power BI and Paginated reports on another page in the same report? Some way to link. If a user clicks on a visual, show the details on the Paginated report.
Are we talking about in the same Power BI report? Or
That's
are we going to another
page?
If we're talking about the same Power BI report, Chris Finland announced some crazy visual that's come into Power BI that's gonna allow you to embed a paginated report in a Power BI report. Stay tuned. I don't know any timelines or anything like that. Yep. But if it doesn't have to be embedded, go watch the video that I did a couple of weeks ago where I show you how to go, and Adam did a video long time ago,
yes,
showing you how to link from a Power BI report to a paginated report using a URL. So if you can go to another page, yeah, you can do it today. If not, you got to wait for Chris Finland's magical visual that's coming to Power BI.
Yes, he teased us with it, and hopefully that comes out soon.
He did.
I hope. All right. So I'll grab one last one before we cut over. Ignacio just had a question there for Smart Narratives. Good question. When will Q&A and Smart Narratives be available in Power BI report server on premises?
I can just see like Chris kind of powering behind me.
Yes. There's not even an it depends on this one.
Yeah, it's not something that's on our roadmap at this point in time. I'm sorry. I don't see it coming anytime soon, and I hope Chris doesn't watch this, because he nags me about this every time I pass him used to pass him in the hallway. Now he just angry teased me out about it. So this will be another reminder for him.
Yes. So and I would also point back to the blog post that Chris Finland put out there just about the direction of Power BI report server in general as well. So refer back to that as well. So there's not a whole lot of right now. All they're doing is just keeping up with the Power BI desktop updates. But as you mentioned, the Q&A and Smart Narratives and stuff aren't there. Also for the Smart Narratives too, because that's in preview. Power BI report server doesn't support preview features either, so that's another aspect that's there. But yep. All right, we are at the bottom of the hour. Chatmaster C is gonna go ahead and clear the queue. Members can go ahead and resubmit. Where's my thing? I moved everything. So let's cut it over. Wait, what? Click the edit button where you find all your... Oh, okay, there it is. Whew, they moved, YouTube moved all the things. So we're going to cut over to the member channels here, or member only channel. So just remember, everyone can still watch the stream. Only members and moderators can actually participate in the chat. Justina, I made you a moderator, so you can participate in the chat if you so choose. Yes, members, go ahead and resubmit your questions. You are allowed to do that. This one time, Chatmaster C will not put you in a timeout. And while we're doing that, we did have a member question that came in beforehand. So that's one of the perks of some of the levels of the member channel. Patrick's, what are you doing? You all right?
I'm so nervous about this because Marco is here. I'm so
fine.
nervous about this DAX question because Marco is here. But go ahead. Let's move on.
So we're going to go over. Christian had a question he sent in. Also, just a reminder, if you are not a member, super chats do take priority, so we will honor that as well. All right, here's the question. Could you please explain why the measure set 2 is not working and why it actually goes into using the active relationship? The idea was that the whole data set uses the active date relationship, and in this case, the measure is supposed to use an inactive one, plus an additional set of filters. Also, is there a smarter way to achieve this? So he sent us the demo files for that. So Patrick, we're gonna look at that. Are you ready to go over to your machine?
Yeah, let's go ahead. I'm so nervous. I'm like shaking and perspiring because Marco's here. And...
Marco's gonna close his eyes on this one. That's fine.
All right. So this is what the model looked like. So they had some data and a date, and you could
you're good. You're good. Go.
Okay. And you can see there's this one inactive relationship. Notice I'm zooming in. Do you see how I'm zooming in? Right? Mm-hmm. And so if I hover, you can see that Marco said he closed his eyes. You can see that it's using this valid selling date, right? It's using, you're like, how did he see that? And I got this monitor right in front of me. I can see everything, right? And so, he wants the measures, or whoever it is, he or she, I apologize. The person wants the measures to all calculate based on this relationship. And so they sent it over and they're like, hey, we got it working using this method. And I'm going to, can you see that DAX? Is that okay, Adam? I know you're an older person, so I know you need this, right? And so notice here that they have 2 calculates to solve the problem. I was like, wait a minute.
It's a nested calculate.
I don't think you need 2. But then I start looking right here. You got filter, and then on the outside is where you're actually doing the user relationship, right? I used to call this user relationship, but it's user relationship. It's so great, right? When you learn your words. And so I instead of doing the filter use relationship double calculate, right? It's an implicit and in the filter of the calculate, so you can do it that way. I'm going to show you a solution. I promise I won't take too much longer. But what was not working was really interesting, and I was watching a video. I was watching this video right here. I got to show you this video that I was watching. I lost the doggone video. Alberto did a video on the SQL BI channel explaining the variables. And one thing Alberto said is once that variable is calculated, it's tucked in there. Trying to change the filter context,
it becomes a constant.
Happen, right?
Well, it becomes a constant value, so it's just the value, right? There's nothing else. Nothing else there.
Right. And so to make this really simple, I mean, to this one, if we go back here, the nested calculate with all the filter and stuff, you don't need to do all that. It's really simple. And I'll reply back and I'll send you this PBIX file. Really simple. I just did a calculate and I said use relationship. Look, I said user relationship.
Yes, you do that all the time.
And, and then I pass my filters in. And then if we switch over to your page, my new page, you can see where all the measures match up. All right. So it's simple. And I bet I could have gone through with some variables and, done stuff. But if you walk through Alberto's video, he explains that variables are good, but sometimes you got to be careful, when you use them. So go watch that video. I'll send this back. And that's how I solved the problem. Okay, Marco, you can start back looking.
Wow. Yeah. No, that was good. And I haven't seen Christian in the chat, so I don't know if he's actually watching the stream right now. So hopefully he will see it after the fact. I haven't seen him. You all right, Patrick? Christian's here. Christian's here. All right. He saw it. He said thank you. Good.
Hi, Marco said, Patrick, good.
Yes. So Marco's echoing what I said. So remember, visuals or variables are constants in DAX. So that's right. So it's just the scalar value in that variable at that point. So there's nothing else to do anything. So yep. Marco texted me also. He said you did great.
But answer the okay. Yeah, thank you, Marco. He did not. He sent me a message on WhatsApp and told me I did great.
Nice.
Yeah,
He did not.
He would. You did perfect. It was fine. All right. Back to the questions. Wyatt said you did a good job, so that's good.
Thank you, Wyatt.
All right, Damu's got a question here. Good to go. What basic AI algorithms do we need to be familiar with to use AI in Power BI?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it depends on which features you want to use.
It depends. It depends. Yes.
But for the AI visuals, things like smart narratives or things like the decomp tree, you don't need to be familiar with any AI algorithms. You can go and just get started with them. For things like key influencers, you similarly don't have to. Sometimes if you want to understand some of the kind of maybe what's going on behind the scenes and why you're getting certain results the way they are, it would be good to be just familiar with just simple linear logistic regressions and kind of the principles of how they work. And on the segments page, we do use decision trees. So again, it's not a prerequisite because you can consume the segments and see, for example, if you're running the key influencers visual and trying to understand what makes you more likely to convert for a campaign, you'll see the output saying, hey, customers who, let's say, are from this region and maybe bought at these purchases are more likely to convert. Now, you can get the result, and to read the result, you do not need to be familiar with any algorithms. But in order to structure the data correctly so that you're getting the results that you want, it may be good to be familiar with how the algorithms work. And when I say how they work, I don't mean what they're actually doing in terms of like the maths, but in terms of, hey, this is the sort of data they need to get started with. And this is more or less what they will do, that how will they'll look at your data. It's just sort of the principles of machine learning, like the difference between, BI and machine learning is you kind of work with raw data that's like, very, very much in its kind of expanded form. So you want basically row level data, right, versus summarized data, things like that. For automated machine learning, if you want to move more to actually building machine learning models, again, we do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So you don't have to necessarily understand all the different algorithms that are running. We're going to figure out which one is the best one and give you basically just use the best one for the problem that you're dealing with. But it may be worth, again, knowing how you have to structure your data. Generally, the feature engineering, that's the part I think, as I'm talking through this, is the part that is really useful to know about. So how do you get your data into the shape, and how do you get your data in a form that can be consumed by a machine learning model? So not necessarily so much what the machine learning model is doing and how it's working, because we try and handle a lot of the complexity and set the parameters for you. But how do I get my data in so I get the results that I want? It's probably the part that's most useful in the Power BI setting.
Nice. Yep. And then if you do want to go like with full items, doing that like the Azure ML integration and stuff, then you can really get into it. And for that, you would need to know like how to do that stuff. So.
Yeah, I think if you want to get more into actual algorithms and understanding algorithms, there's a really good Coursera course from Stanford. So you can, it's free to audit. You don't have to, you can get the certificate. Anyone can sign up and go through it, and that really goes into the actual inner workings of those algorithms. And it's probably the most thorough course I've seen for machine learning algorithms.
Yep. I love how they use all the big words for those algorithms as well. I remember going through when Azure ML first came out when I was in support. They put us through like a training course for the support engineers. And there was one day was like just going through all of the different algorithms. And one of them, I just remember like there was, it said something about stochastic. And I'm like, the heck is that word? I go look it up and I'm like, oh, it just means like on target or whatever. I'm like, why not just say that? Like, why do we have to use this big word?
Yeah.
So.
They do like to use fancy things, that's for sure.
It's just like doctors, the same thing, right? Oh, I gotta love them. All right, Jessica, Alt-Enter has a question. I tried using a measure in a decomp tree and it didn't work. Was it me?
So I would again suggest reach out to me directly so we can take a look. We do support.
Yeah, I was gonna say we do support.
But I wonder whether were you trying to use the measure? Maybe you could qualify in the chat. Is the field that you were trying to analyze, or as the thing that you're going to try and break it down by?
Yeah, the categories.
We support measures in the thing that that's the kind of central point of your analysis. So actually, the measure you want to break down, but in terms of the categories you want to break it down by, we don't support measures in that side. So maybe that's why that didn't work. Yep. But if you were using it in the analyze by bucket, then reach out because that should be working.
Yeah, so she commented that it was for the break it down by.
So that would be why.
Yep. So that is by design.
That is by design.
Yeah. All right. Fernando. Ash is going crazy. This barking. AI visuals. Is there any resource to check which algorithms, high level, are applied to a certain visual? Data science team like them, or they like them, but they're skeptic on what's going on under the hoods. And I've heard that a couple times too. Like, what's decomp tree using? What's, what are the actual things under the hoods?
Yeah, no, and I've heard this too, and I think we probably should just take that as feedback to do a better job at documenting some of those algorithms. In the documentation, I try to kind of, let's say, for key influencers, I try to outline at a high level, like what are the things that we're doing without trying to get into too much of the detail. But I think sometimes, users just want to know, just tell me which specific thing is running. There is actually one. Funnily enough, it's not in the documentation. It's in a case study we did with ML.net, where they talk about we are their customer because we're consuming ML.net in Power BI. And for key influencers, which is the visual that this question comes up about most often, they outlined how we actually use it and which of their specific algorithms and libraries we are using, and with links. So I will actually just find that quickly and just pop it in the chat. So if anyone's interested, they can basically take a look for that as well.
There's a comment from Rishi. You should fly up because Justyna said something in the podcast that I think just goes exactly with.
Yep. So he said, I think Justyna said it well in the podcast recently. The smart visuals aren't for running a model on your data. They're for indicating where you should focus your insights and drill downs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the thing that we are kind of trying to express from a perception perspective. I think it's a really good point that Rishi has raised. It's people try and sometimes use things like key influencers as a substitute for a machine learning model. And we kind of, like our stance on it is we're not doing row level predictions. We're not telling you whether this specific customer in your data set is going to convert or not. We're trying to give you more of these sorts of like structural changes that might be interesting to look at for your data. So like more of the systemic level. And it's more like, here are some hints of where you should go and look versus go and do something actually about this specific person or this specific product or this specific, support ticket. For that, go and use machine learning. Automated machine learning would be great, but this is more about just finding hints in your data.
Yep. Cool. All right, and yeah, Alex was commenting that it was nice to see that you were trying to beat him with the link. Alex is known as the link master. He always has I don't know how he does it really fast. I don't
know.
So he had put the link that you shared, he put that in before you on that. It was great.
To be fair,
He had to go find that too. That was impressive. It's amazing. That's why I don't even try. I'm like, Alex, go get the link. Go get the link.
No.
Oh my God! Did you see his comment? Oh, he said instead of "Hey Siri," it's "Hey Alex." It's nice. Yeah, Alex is the link master, so that's nice. All right, so
the link master.
Talking about the algorithms and whatnot, that was at kind of a high level. That was good. Thomas actually had a very specific question around that too, and he said, what DM algorithms are used in decomp tree? He qualified that DM meant data mining.
Yeah. So for decomp tree, we don't use anything very fancy. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. And, and it's not that we can't. It's not that we can't. We spent so long going through, oh, sorry, if you can hear that, this is my dog.
Okay. That's all right.
We used to have nightmares sometimes. Oh, no.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. So for decomp tree, we spent a lot of time talking about, which algorithms we should be using. And at one point, we were definitely leaning towards using decision trees because that's very natural way of kind of exploring a decomposition tree. But we did a bunch of user testing, and honestly, the thing that just resonated the most with users was just, hey, go through all of these different breakdowns and find me where this value is the highest. Literally, that's what they understood. That was something that was very understandable to users. Otherwise, it was values that, let's say, weren't it wasn't the highest value, but it had more support, as in it had more counts or things like that. Customers would kind of get confused. So we ended up just going for the decomp tree because it's such a universal visual, the simplest thing. That was actually the one that just really resonated with users.
Keep it simple.
So
keep it simple.
We kept it very simple.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, I didn't call it out early, but VJ, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. All right, Prem Chander's got a question for you, Justyna. What's the complex thing? I'm going to put most in front of that. What's the most complex thing you've tested in smart narratives or done in smart narratives?
So that's an interesting question because I think what we're trying to do with smart narratives is start summarizing the insights in the visuals that might be of interest to the users. And so what we've started with is trend analysis. So you'll notice that sometimes, with time series data, we're trying to experiment with different summarizations for the trends you're seeing. So things like the longest trends, the most recent interesting trends, the kind of continuous trends. But we want to really expand on that. Smart narratives is a really quick way for us to be able to add insights because we don't have to build a completely new visual. We can literally just run some analysis in the background and return back some text. So again, shameless plug, with anomaly detection coming into Power BI next month, make sure you try it out. It will be a preview feature. We also want to then say, okay, we've got this new insight, we can just summarize it, right? So we'll hopefully very soon after that have a summary for anomalies in the visual as well. But I would love to, again, flip that question back to you guys and just understand, what would you like to see smart narratives summarizing that's more complex? Would you, for example, like it to go beyond what's in the visual and go and look at behind the scenes and summarize? If we're seeing, for example, a trend going up, would you like us to try and figure out why that trend is going up? Or would that be too confusing because you don't see it in the visual? Like, let us know. With the smart narratives, we can plug in things pretty quickly. So anything that we get from in terms of feedback is much more actionable than going and building a whole new visual.
Yep. Love it. Awesome.
That's good.
That was really good. I had a thought there and then I lost it. So, okay. Good deal. That's what I was going to mention. So the anomaly detection, I don't think that's been announced anywhere. I think you heard it here first on the live stream. That's going to be in the November build. Or have you said it before? You've said it before, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, excellent.
I have demoed it.
Like I know we've said it's been said that it's coming, but I haven't heard specifically that it was going to be in the November release. So,
yes, so
awesome.
it's I've showed it at my Ignite demo. So
Yes.
if you want to see what that looks like, you can go check out Alex. I'm sure we'll find the
Alex
link.
gonna get the link.
My Ignite session.
Hey Alex, go find
the link to Justina's Ignite session.
Yes.
And it's the last demo I did of that segment. So that's the capability that's coming in November in preview. I have not announced anywhere else that it's going to be there in November.
Love it.
So yeah, this is the first time you're hearing it.
Excellent. All right. Speaking of Mr. Alex, he had a question as well. So I love our PowerPoint for data story, and it finally made sense with smart narratives. But another exciting feature is page templates that you demoed at MBAS. When can we expect that feature?
Yeah, and I see Alex has already found the link.
Yes.
So he's already
good. He's good.
So yeah, that one is a very cool feature that a lot of people were excited about. The thing we showed at MBAS was very, very early days, let's just say. It was a very early, I'll be honest with you, it was actually based on a hackathon that we did. That's how the whole feature actually came about, is we did a hackathon, or like a team in Power BI did a hackathon for this, and it resonated so well with just internal Power BI folks. Were like, hey, let's add that to the product, and we showed something based off that on the kind of at MBAS. So there's still quite a bit of work left to do with that feature, but it's being worked on. It's moving along. We just can't kind of commit any dates, or I don't think we've communicated any dates for that.
I've not heard any dates publicly communicated on that. So of note, PASS is next week, PASS Summit. So I'm sure there will be some announcements there. I don't know. I'm not saying specifically that specific feature is going to be mentioned there, but tune in to hear what the announcements are at PASS Summit. So you may hear some. Awesome. All right. Let's go to Mr. Andy. Andy said, is there a set of examples of Azure ML to use in Power BI? Most of our use cases seem generic enough that an off-the-shelf solution would work with minor tweaks. So I guess, how do we get, like with Azure ML integration with Power BI, is there like a place we can go to for like just copy and paste examples or things similar to like the DAX templates that we have for, or the, what is it? Yeah. So just anywhere that someone's put together some of those items, are you aware of, or?
Yeah, no, we haven't put anything ourselves together, but it's a good suggestion. In Azure ML, you do have templates. So they do have just model templates that you can just plug your data into for different types of use cases. And then the Power BI integration with Azure Machine Learning is pretty generic, right? You go into, you just have to make sure your models are shared with your business users or your analysts, whoever would be actually invoking the Azure Machine Learning model from Power BI. And then they will just map whatever the model does to the schema of the data. So you just need to make sure that the schema matches. And then you can just, of course, build your reports on top of it. But there's no like end-to-end, like, hey, here's a finance example of all the way from the model template to a Power BI report and what that could look like. But that's a good suggestion. We just have not put something like that together.
Yes, and Jessica put in there DAX patterns. I don't know why I called it templates, but yeah, DAX patterns is a good example on the DAX side. I don't know of anything necessarily there on the Azure ML side. So,
but Alex is
and of course, Alex put that
Azure ML templates. There you go.
yes.
I didn't even have to say, "Hey, Alex." Like it's just there. Look at that.
Dope.
See, that's machine. That's an example of machine learning right there. You just learned that. We got to drop the link. That is a good algorithm right there. All right. Let's see here. So Michael's got a question here. Are there any plans to implement distribution analysis?
So we have the distribution analysis quick insight. I wonder if, Michael, if that's what you're referring to. And I would love to understand where you would like to see that. Would it be in the smart narratives that you'd like to be able to have like a summarization saying, hey, this is like, let's say, if we have a bar chart that we've summarized, the distribution of this bar chart looks different when, let's say, this filter is applied, or would you like it more as an AI visual that you could add to the page? We don't currently, I think, have plans for anything specific with distribution changes, so I'd love to learn more about what you're looking for there.
Yeah, so he said compare bins versus a distribution.
So we have that for the right-click experience, where you can right-click, see where the distribution is different, and then we run and actually apply a number of different filters on the data to see where your distribution might be looking different within that data. And so we compare the new distribution to the original distribution, but that's the only place where we have something like that currently in the product.
Yep. Okay. All right. Michael had a question. This is going to be a quick answer too. Is it possible to reference a bookmark with a measure? No. That's a no. So, good question, but yep.
Yeah.
No way to do that.
That's a no.
Not even an it depends with that one. It's just a solid no.
No.
So sad.
No.
All right.
Can't do it.
Steven's got one here. Are any of the old SQL Server data mining algorithms logic used in these visuals? Are they more up to date? So like the algorithms in Azure Machine Learning. And I think you commented on some of that earlier.
Yeah, AutoML is based on automated machine learning, which is based on Azure Machine Learning. So that's all Azure ML. For everything we do in the desktop, that's based on ML.NET, which is also very closely related to Azure ML. We just basically have embedded the ML.NET libraries directly into Power BI.
Nice. All right, Greg had one here. Justyna, are you collaborating with Ted Way on stuff? Anything you can talk about? I don't know who's Ted Way also, because I need context on that one.
Who's Ted Way?
So, hi, Ted. Well, Ted is a PM on the Azure Machine Learning side.
Okay.
Or at least when we were collaborating, he was on the Azure Machine Learning side. I haven't actually spoken to Ted for a pretty long time. We were chatting a lot when we did the Azure Machine Learning integration with Power BI, but that was many years ago now. So haven't actually, maybe I should reach out and see if he's working on anything cool that we could be bringing into Power BI.
Nice.
But I haven't, yeah.
Yeah. Way to plant that seed, Greg.
Yeah.
Nice. So the answer to his question is no. Like there's nothing we can talk about right now because you're going to go chat with him.
I will. So. And for anyone who wants to know who Ted is, Alex has posted his own LinkedIn profile.
Yeah. Nice.
Did you see Matthew's?
Yeah, I
comment?
got it up on the
Did you
screen.
see Matthew? Yeah.
Waiting for the obligatory Ted is the way.
Ted is the way.
Yes.
This is the way.
Good Mandalorian reference there, Matthew, also. Which, by the way, I did watch. We did watch Mandalorian last night. First episode of season 2 was very good. Loved it. All right. Thomas has a question in here. This is actually the last one in the queue, and I know we're bumping up against time. So I think, Thomas, we're going to close out with this one. Any tips for using text analytics in Power BI Desktop?
So for those who don't know what we do with text analytics, we have a couple of different options. We have the sentiment analysis, key phrase detection. We have language detection, basically libraries that you can invoke as part of your data prep. So I would say that one thing to be mindful of is just when you do things like using key phrases, just make sure that you've set up the relationships in your data correctly, because we'll split up. We can find multiple key phrases for one row of data, but you probably want to slice and dice by them. So it might be worth having a separate table that you build out with each individual key phrase and which row it was found in. And Patrick is so distracting.
I know. What are you laughing at?
Sorry. I'm sorry. So you were talking about the Mandalorian and why it said, yes, you've said it a few times that you've watched it, Adam. So I'm sorry.
On the stream, I said that? I thought I didn't. That was the only time I referenced it on the stream.
A couple of times. No,
did I?
That's like the third time that you've said it.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, Justyna. I'm so sorry.
I remember that.
I apologize.
All right. I guess I am getting old.
Marco is now. I'm going to stop talking about the phrases because now Marco is judging me. So I'm going to skip over that.
Oh, no.
I'd say that the other side of that is also sometimes what I've seen customers do is they, when they do the key phrases, that sometimes they're a little bit too specific. So they'll have topics, and then they'll map these key phrases to topics that they can slice and dice by in order to have more kind of a theme that you can then drill down into. So another one that is not doing anything weird with measures and stuff.
Yep. And Alex did make a comment also, which is good to understand. The text analytics items are a premium feature today, yes. And will those be unblocked by premium per user?
Yes. I'm awesome. Really excited. Both AutoML and cognitive services will be unlocked by premium per user.
Excellent.
So,
and paginated reports.
Boom.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It's a cog. Me and Chris have a lot of cogs for this banter.
Yes.
That's mostly directed to Chris.
All right, and with that, we will. So Justyna, anything else going on for folks to be aware of or keep their eye on?
I think those are the two big ones.
Okay.
Per user is coming soon, so try out AutoML cognitive services if you haven't had a chance to do that, and then Anomaly Detection in November. So
awesome. And then, like I said, past Summit. Sorry, I said next week. It's not next week, meaning this coming Monday through Friday. It's the following week, so it's like around November 11th or so. Be on the lookout for that, and just stay tuned to Twitter if you're not signed up to watch the past items. I'm sure there will be blog posts and tweets, many, talking about the items that will be coming out. So, Justyna, as always, thank you for participating. It was great to have you. Glad we could get you on the live stream. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, and have a great rest of your weekend. See you, everyone.
Bye.
Wanna shake that ground, wanna break away.